The glittering lights of Hollywood have long been associated with an almost mythical level of extravagance where multi-million-dollar paychecks disappear into a blur of mega mansions, private jets, and diamond-encrusted accessories that serve as the ultimate status symbols. For decades, the public has been fed a steady diet of stories featuring overnight sensations who managed to blow through unimaginable fortunes in a matter of years, leaving behind cautionary tales of financial ruin and unchecked vanity. We watch from afar, fascinated by the sheer scale of the excess, assuming that anyone who enters that rarefied air of global fame must automatically adopt a lifestyle of relentless consumption. The entertainment industry itself seems designed to project an image of infinite wealth, where repeating an outfit is considered a social crime and driving an ordinary vehicle is seen as a sign of a failing career. This constant pressure to project an image of absolute perfection creates a fascinating illusion, making us believe that every single individual walking the red carpet has completely abandoned the practical realities of everyday economic survival. Yet, if we look beneath the carefully curated surface of paparazzi photos and choreographed public appearances, a much different and far more intriguing reality begins to emerge. There is a quiet, almost secret counterculture thriving within the upper echelons of the entertainment world, comprised of individuals who refuse to let the vertigo of sudden wealth distort their fundamental relationship with money. These are the household names whose faces adorn billboards across the world, yet who secretly practiced a level of financial discipline that would shock the average consumer. They are the anomalies in a system that demands constant spending, individuals who have looked at the temptations of unlimited credit and chosen instead to hold on to the habits formed long before they ever stepped into the spotlight. This phenomenon raises profound questions about the nature of security, human psychology, and the lingering power of a modest upbringing. Why would someone with tens of millions of dollars in the bank bother to look for a discount or feel a pang of guilt over an overpriced luxury item? The answers to these questions reveal a deeply human side to fame that is rarely discussed in traditional entertainment media, offering a stark contrast to the dominant narrative of celebrity superficiality. To understand this unique mindset, one must first look at the incredible psychological weight of a sudden transition from scarcity to abundance. For many individuals who achieve massive success later in life, the memories of financial instability do not simply vanish when the first large contract is signed. Instead, those early experiences of counting pennies and worrying about the next meal become deeply woven into their personal identity, acting as a permanent psychological anchor. When these individuals suddenly find themselves surrounded by the intoxicating wealth of Hollywood, a fascinating internal conflict begins to play out. On one hand, the industry demands that they perform the role of a wealthy superstar, wearing thousands of dollars in clothing and driving vehicles that cost more than an average family home. On the other hand, an inner voice forged through years of practical survival constantly warns them that this wave of prosperity could end just as quickly as it began. This tension creates a fascinating dynamic where a celebrity might attend a glamorous award ceremony in a custom gown, only to return home and engage in the exact same thrifty habits that sustained them during their youth. This brings us to a broader, highly compelling exploration of how modern society views wealth and value, and how a select group of globally recognized figures are quietly rewriting the rules of what it means to be rich. Over the course of this special investigative report, we will pull back the curtain on 15 specific icons of the entertainment industry who have made the conscious choice to live significantly below their immense means. We will examine the deeply personal stories, the unexpected daily routines, and the surprising philosophies that guide their financial decisions. From international pop stars who refuse to abandon the thrill of a good bargain, to cinematic icons who treat their multi-million-dollar earnings with the caution of a working-class accountant. These stories challenge our collective assumptions about fame. Before we dive deep into the specific details of these remarkable individuals and reveal the astonishing ways they manage their fortunes in our upcoming segments, we invite you to become a permanent part of our community. If you find yourself fascinated by the hidden realities of the entertainment world and want to ensure you never miss our deep dives into the lives of the world's most influential figures, please take a brief moment right now to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to continue bringing you these carefully researched, thought-provoking stories that look beyond the superficial glamour of the red carpet. The atmosphere of Hollywood is engineered to encourage financial recklessness. with an entire ecosystem of luxury brands, high-end real estate agents, and lifestyle consultants dedicated to ensuring that celebrity money flows back into the luxury economy. To resist this powerful current requires a rare strength of character and a profound level of self-awareness. The figures we will profile in this series are not merely being cheap. They are actively engaging in a form of cultural rebellion, choosing personal stability and long-term security over the fleeting validation of material display. They understand that in an industry notorious for its volatility, where a career can be derailed by a single box office failure or a shift in public taste, true wealth is not about how much you spend, but how much you keep. As we prepare to transition into the core of our narrative, where we will lay bare the incredible specific instances of this elite frugality, we must first appreciate the sheer discipline it takes to maintain a normal perspective when the world is telling you that you are anything but normal. The stage is now set to explore how these global icons navigate the treacherous waters of fame without losing their financial footing, proving that sometimes the most truly radical thing a millionaire can do is live just like the rest of us. The illusion of celebrity opulence begins to shatter the moment we look at the specific, everyday choices made by some of the most recognizable figures in modern entertainment, revealing a stark contrast between public expectation and private discipline. Consider the case of Tiffany Haddish, an actress and comedian whose explosive rise to fame could have easily justified a lifestyle of endless luxury shopping. When she found herself preparing for the high-profile premiere of her breakout film Girls Trip, she made the significant decision to invest $4,000 in a stunning, elegant black Alexander McQueen gown. For most Hollywood starlets, an outfit worn to a major premiere is instantly retired, never to be seen in public again due to an unwritten rule that dictates constant novelty. However, upon realizing the sheer magnitude of that financial expenditure, Haddish rejected the industry standard entirely, declaring that she absolutely intended to get her money's worth out of the luxury garment. True to her word, she turned that single dress into a symbol of proud economic practicality, wearing it on the stage of the Academy Awards, during her historic hosting appearance on Saturday Night Live, and at multiple other industry events. Completely defying the superficial social codes of the red carpet, this grounded perspective is mirrored in the tech habits of some of the world's most bankable cinematic icons, illustrating that the urge to constantly upgrade to the latest gadget is entirely absent in certain elite circles. Chris Evans, globally celebrated for anchoring one of the highest-grossing film franchises in cinematic history, displayed a level of technological loyalty that baffled his peers and fans alike. Despite possessing the financial resources to purchase any device on Earth, Evans resolutely refused to replace his aging iPhone 6, a model originally released way back in 2014. Year after year, as newer, sleeker models hit the market with advanced features, the actor remained entirely content with his outdated, home button-equipped device. He maintained this stubborn partnership until the summer of 2022, when the phone finally suffered a total mechanical failure, prompting him to write a humorous, public farewell to his trusty companion that had accompanied him through the height of his global stardom. The practice of extreme financial discipline often extends to the most mundane aspects of domestic life, such as grocery shopping and household management, where the thrill of the bargain remains alive for individuals who could easily buy the entire store. Sarah Michelle Gellar, an actress who became a definitive cultural icon of the late 90s and early 2000s, has openly admitted that she continues to cut coupons and search for sales to this very day. Her philosophy is built on the firm conviction that professional success and substantial wealth should never serve as an excuse for errant, careless spending. Viewing financial mindfulness as a lifelong responsibility rather than a temporary necessity. This sentiment is enthusiastically shared by Kristen Bell, who has achieved immense critical and commercial success across television, film, and massive animated franchises. Bell has revealed that she shops almost exclusively with coupons, harboring a particular long-standing passion for the classic 20% discount vouchers from Bed Bath & Beyond, proving that the satisfying dopamine rush of securing a retail discount does not diminish when your net worth reaches 8 figures. To manage the overwhelming influx of wealth that accompanies global chart-topping success, some artists must implement strict internal systems to protect themselves from their own earning potential. Ed Sheeran, whose record-breaking stadium tours and ubiquitous radio hits have generated hundreds of millions of dollars, recognized early on the danger of losing touch with financial reality. To prevent the temptation of boundless spending from eroding his wealth, Sheeran took the radical step of placing himself on a strict monthly allowance, which, during the height of his initial global breakthrough in 2014, was limited to roughly $1,000. By artificially restricting his liquidity, he ensured that his lifestyle remained tethered to a modest standard, forcing himself to prioritize basic needs and simple pleasures, while the vast majority of his massive income was safely diverted into long-term investments and savings accounts. Far out of reach from impulsive daily expenditures, the modeling world is perhaps even more notorious than Hollywood for its relentless emphasis on visible luxury, competitive consumption, and high-priced partying, making the financial journey of Tyra Banks all the more extraordinary. As a young supermodel rising through the ultra-competitive ranks of the international fashion circuits, Banks was surrounded by peers who routinely spent their modeling fees on designer wardrobes, lavish shopping sprees, and five-star luxury suites at the most prestigious hotels during global fashion weeks. Guided by the pragmatic advice and financial wisdom of her mother, Banks consciously chose a completely different path, opting to stay at modest, mid-tier business hotels like the DoubleTree or Embassy Suites while quietly accumulating her earnings. While her contemporaries were burning through their cash to maintain an aura of glamorous wealth, Banks was focused on building a rock-solid foundation, utilizing her saved modeling checks to purchase her very first independent home at the exceptionally young age of 20, laying the groundwork for her future transition into a formidable media mogul in the digital age. This commitment to transparency regarding modest living standards has sometimes played out in front of millions of viewers, challenging the carefully manufactured perfection of social media aesthetics. Julia Fox, an actress and model known for her avant-garde fashion sense and high-profile public associations, shocked the internet when she filmed a candid, completely unvarnished tour of her New York City apartment and posted it to TikTok. Rather than showcasing a sprawling, immaculate penthouse, Fox revealed a distinctly cramped, cluttered, and thoroughly ordinary living space, complete with a small, ongoing mouse problem that she casually dismissed as an inevitable reality of urban life. Her explicitly stated goal in sharing this surprisingly modest domestic environment was to provide a comforting reality check for her followers, offering a relatable glimpse into her life so that everyday people watching her content might realize that their own living situations were not so bad compared to that of a famous personality. The strategy of compartmentalizing income streams to isolate wealth from daily spending has been mastered by veteran entertainers who understood early on that fame is a fickle, unpredictable business. Jay Leno, the legendary comedian and longtime television host, developed a dual-income philosophy during his very first days in the working world, long before he ever achieved national recognition. Leno established a strict personal rule that he would always maintain two separate sources of income, dedicating one exclusively to paying his living expenses while banking the other entirely. Throughout his incredibly lucrative tenure hosting the highest-rated late-night talk show in America, Leno steadfastly maintained this exact discipline, living entirely off his stand-up comedy touring revenue while refusing to touch a single dime of his massive network television salary, allowing it to accumulate undisturbed for decades as an impenetrable financial fortress. The determination to resist the seductive pull of material inflation is often exemplified by the deep, sentimental attachments that certain celebrities maintain with the ordinary objects from their past, proving that true utility outweighs any modern status symbol. In the world of hip-hop, where success is almost universally measured by the acquisition of foreign sports cars and flashy luxury fleets, the multi-platinum recording artist and actor Ludacris chose to chart a radically different path. For decades, even as his music dominated global charts and his roles in blockbuster film franchises brought in monumental paychecks, he steadfastly refused to part ways with his beloved 1993 Acura Legend. To him, this vintage sedan was not a relic of a poorer past to be hidden away, but a profound symbol of his initial hustle, a physical reminder of the exact moment his dreams began to materialize into reality. Even when the vehicle suffered significant wear and tear after years of dedicated use, he opted to have the manufacturer completely restore the car to its original glory rather than trade it in for a modern supercar, ensuring that he could continue driving the very same vehicle that carried him through his formative years. This profound appreciation for simplicity and intentional spending is beautifully illustrated in the intimate milestones of celebrity personal lives, where the pressure to throw multi-million-dollar celebrations is immense. When Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, two of the most recognizable and financially successful actors of their generation, decided to solidify their relationship in marriage, they completely bypassed the traditional luxury jewelers of Beverly Hills. Instead of commissioning custom diamond-encrusted bands that could easily cost the price of a luxury home, Kunis took to the online marketplace Etsy to source their wedding jewelry. She discovered a beautiful, understated platinum band for herself that cost a mere $90, while selecting a classic band for Kutcher that came to exactly $100. This conscious decision to prioritize the emotional and spiritual significance of their union over the material value of their rings highlighted a shared philosophy that true security and love can never be measured by a price tag. Standing as a quiet rebuke to the competitive extravagance of traditional celebrity weddings, the generational transmission of these values is perhaps the ultimate test of an individual's commitment to financial responsibility, particularly when raising children in an environment of absolute abundance. Sarah Jessica Parker, an actress whose most famous television character became synonymous with haute couture, high-end footwear, and endless shopping sprees, maintains a domestic life that is completely divorced from that fictional materialism. Having grown up in a large household where money was tight, Parker made the conscious decision to raise her own children with an authentic understanding of resourcefulness, regularly dressing them in secondhand clothes and practical hand-me-downs. Her perspective on consumption shifted even further into the realm of sustainability after she viewed a poignant documentary exploring the devastating environmental and human costs of the fast fashion industry. From that pivotal moment onward, she committed to a strict personal philosophy of ethical fashion, vowing to only purchase garments for herself that she truly intended to keep, maintain, and wear for at least 10 or 15 years into the future. This rejection of consumer culture often manifests as a proud public defense of ordinary thriftiness, even when the rest of the world expects nothing less than absolute indulgence. The global pop icon Lady Gaga, known for her theatrical performances and boundary-pushing artistic expressions, once took to social media to express her genuine confusion over the public's reaction to her normal shopping habits. She openly questioned why people looked at her with utter astonishment when she utilized standard coupons at the grocery store checkout line or attempted to bargain for a fair price at retail establishments, reaffirming that a massive net worth does not mean an individual should willingly overpay for goods. Similarly, the double Academy Award-winning actress Hilary Swank has never allowed her critical acclaim or elite industry status to erode the practical survival skills she developed during a challenging childhood. Having grown up in a trailer park, Swank has proudly continued to clip coupons and search for discounts throughout her adult life, viewing the habit not as a sign of scarcity, but as a fundamental, respectful acknowledgement of the true value of a dollar. The maintenance of personal grounding often requires celebrities to actively participate in the regular, repetitive chores of daily life, refusing to outsource their basic human experiences to a network of personal assistants. The country music superstar Carrie Underwood, who routinely performs in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans in massive arenas across the globe, deliberately maintains a slice of ordinary life while on the road. On her rare days off during exhausting national tours, rather than retreating into the isolation of five-star hotel suites, she gathers her quarters, packs up her clothing, and heads directly to local public laundromats to wash her own garments. Underwood also insists on doing her own family grocery shopping, finding a sense of peace, normalcy, and structural stability in the simple, grounded rhythm of pushing a cart through a supermarket aisle and selecting her own ingredients. Proving that true independence is found in managing your own life. Ultimately, this pervasive economic caution is deeply rooted in an awareness of the inherent instability of the entertainment industry, where fame can be fleeting and today's triumphs offer no guarantee of tomorrow's security. The Academy Award-winning actress Halle Berry has spoken candidly about her deeply ingrained frugality, admitting that her conservative relationship with money is driven by a persistent healthy anxiety regarding the longevity of her career. Despite achieving the absolute pinnacle of Hollywood success, she views her lucrative journey as a beautiful temporary gift that could conclude at any moment, prompting her to save a vast majority of her earnings to ensure her family's long